So I said, if you want America to turn outward, if you want to help us, remember as we did in 1984 when we saw the face of the world walking on the streets of LA, what our responsibility and what our power was when we engaged, and come to America. And you know how the rest of the story went. Not only did they say yes to the United States and bring those Olympics back, they said yes to a vision of the Olympics that wasn't about 3 cities crying and 1 city cheering in the town square, where they had the 2 last cities that were left making a win-win-win for 2 different cities and the Olympic movement. And we are dedicated to making sure the Olympic model continues to evolve, so it isn't so darn expensive, so while LA might be able to afford it and turn a profit, that more cities around the world can see themselves doing that. So these are the programs that are both global and local all at once. The work that we're doing to make sports more equal, more active, the way that we've found partnerships like with the LA Clippers, who are paying for the renovation, and thank you to the Bombers, of 350 basketball courts. I always root for the Clippers, except when they're playing the Lakers. But for this Lakers fan, I said, you know, they asked, can you put the Clippers logo on, you know, the different courts around every park and rec center in LA? And I said, you're darn right you can. See, I don't swear to you. You're darn right that you can, because they stepped up and showed their heart to this city. The Rams have done amazing things stepping forward. The Chargers are helping us with our youth development programs to keep kids out of gangs and to have healthier pathways for them, helping us bring our crime down to the safest it's been in 50 years. And sports has that power. That power that I saw in Rio, where you have North Korean and South Korean athletes sitting right next to each other in the same tent, talking about the competition of the day. That power for folks from countries that might be at war with each other, or from across the world, like the African athlete who said, for that one moment when we march in, all of us are equal. You might be America and big and powerful, but that one moment, we're all just human beings. The feel that we had when the Special Olympic World Games came here, and towns across Los Angeles and neighborhoods adopted each a city and felt themselves transformed as they opened up a transformative opportunity to those athletes. And what I saw yesterday at the Angel City Games, and I know what the Paralympics will do to make us an even more accessible city and a more inclusive city to everybody. That magic dust of the Olympics, the Paralympics, of sports itself, stirs our spirit. And if I said in a decade now that we're going to release a study about any given policy idea, that doesn't really move the needle. When I say the Olympics are coming to town, it isn't just going to be an effect on sports, whether it's on culture, whether art, whether it's on sustainability and combating climate change, whether it's jobs and the economy and building out our infrastructure, we will see a transformation led by sports, but for all of us in our lives. You know, I'll close with this. I started out the day with a camera crew from NBC, and we went down under Wilshire Boulevard to look at the extension of the Purple Line, where the subway is a few years away from the first extension that will get us to the edge of Beverly Hills, a couple years after that to Century City, and about a year before the Olympics starts, all the way to Westwood and the VA. They said, you know, there's no other infrastructure project like this in America. And I said, well, hold on, because not only is this one happening, there's another subway that's being finished downtown, there's another light rail that's about to open to the airport, and there are 14 other lines that will be built here in the next couple decades because of voters and Measure M. They said, I think Washington could learn a thing or two from Los Angeles. And I agree. This is a place where this is the simple formula. Build and do, include everybody, and continue to dream. We cannot be a country, and we cannot be a world where we stop dreaming. We cannot be a place where we say some people belong and others don't. And we've got to stop being scared of the hard work of doing, whether that's ending homelessness in this town and around the country, whether it's dealing with the existential threat we have from climate change. We are able to do these things because of who we are as competitors, as people who touch athletics and sports, and I believe in this town and I believe in our future. The very last thing I'll close with is a quote from a Robert Browning poem about the great Italian artist Andrea del Sarto, and he says, a man's reach must always exceed his grasp. In this day and age, we say a person's reach must always exceed their grasp. In other words, we always reach for things that we may not be able to hold ourselves. Whether it's GIs who go off to war, to fight for somebody else's freedom and never come home, whether it's slaves who fought for the end of slavery but died in chains, whether it's a competitor who competes to break through. I was reading my daughter the story, and I'm going to forget her name right now, of the pitcher. Somebody know any of the female pitcher who struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig? Anybody? Wasn't it? Joan Joyce, thank you. Joan Joyce. But then who was banned from playing in the major leagues. Thank you. It takes a Drysdale to save the day. And we reach sometimes beyond our grasp because we know somebody will be able to hold that goal. And so that's why we go after the Olympics. That's why we compete to be the best. And we do that, and the second line of the poem says, after all, what's ahead and forward? And so I leave you with that we should always make sure that our reach exceeds our grasp. After all, what's ahead and forward? Thank you all so much.
Amazing day. So, with no further ado, we're going to go in to introduce Mr. Byron Scott. Again, 3-time NBA World Champion, former NBA Coach of the Year. You guys see him on The Jump and other ESPN shows as an ESPN contributor. He's also a best-selling author. He can actually sing. I'm not going to put it in. We're not saying that today. And we're going to start a rap group. So, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
B. Scott, the man. I told him because of personal friends, I have to be really careful to keep my language at a professional level. So first off, Morningside High School, Inglewood, you are an LA native, born and raised. Tell me about some of your earliest sports memories in this town.
First of all, you know, guys, when Ron and I met, which was many, many years ago, and like you just said earlier, every time we see each other at the gym, that we both go to, he does say, you know, what's up, legend, and I hate that. that's my boy, but I've never considered myself a legend, first of all. You know, I'm just a normal person who happened to play basketball a long time ago. But getting back into that question, some of my fondest memories of growing up in Inglewood was playing in high school. And my high school coach, Carl Franklin, was an ex-wrestler who got into basketball, and the coaches, we were all very fearful for our lives from him because of his wrestling ability when we saw him on tape. But he was just a disciplinarian coach, really forced the best out of you. Even if you didn't want to play, he forced you to play the game the right way. And the guys I grew up with in Inglewood were guys who basically kept me out of trouble. They saw something in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself. When you talk about professional basketball, you know, I thought about being a professional athlete when I was in high school, even before then. But these guys kept me sane, they kept me out of trouble because growing up in Inglewood, you ran into certain cliques where you almost got into fights and things of that nature. Every situation that we almost got into a fight, my boys would grab me and tell me to go home. You know, they wouldn't allow me to get into any type of trouble. You know, so
when did you realize that you were a standout? That you, like, this is something here? Because you know, as athletes, you kind of know when you start to, your competition, your friends that used to be able to hang with you now, they can't really compete with you anymore, and you just go higher. But how old were you? When did you know that you started to separate yourself?
You know what, I tell this story a lot. I was 12 years old when I said to my parents and to my friends that I was going to be a professional basketball player. And you know, I knew that when I was probably 11, when I was beating guys that were 14, 15 years old, one-on-one. And my parents, you know, God bless my mother who passed away 4 years ago, but you know, when I walked on the stairs with my first trophy, I was 12. And I'm walking in the house and my mother and father are going to their movies that they went to every week. And that was their way of just kind of calming down for the whole week. And I got this first trophy and I'm walking up to the house and they're coming out. And my mom is still clapping, you know, that's my baby, you know, you got a trophy, that good stuff. And my dad said, so what are you going to be when you grow up? And I said, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. And my mom again was like, that's good, my baby going to play basketball. my dad being a dad, he says, so what if you don't make it? So I'm going to be a professional baseball player. So, I mean, athletics was going to be a part of my life no matter what. And I did play high school baseball as well, but I knew at 12 years old I had something special basketball-wise. And, you know, I just wanted to see how far I could take it.
And you won that award back in the day where it was as if anyone awards would just participate.
No.
You actually did it pretty well.
Right.
That's I won't go there, but that's a bit of social commentary. So who were some of your sports idols growing up?
I mean, one lived right here that I happened to meet years later, who I call my basketball dad to this day, was Jerry West.
Great Jerry West logo.
Yeah, the logo. I was a big Jerry West fan growing up. But my favorite basketball player when I was in junior high and elementary school was Bob McAdoo. I had never witnessed or seen a guy at 6'11" that could shoot the ball like he shot the ball.
A lot of people sleep on Mac.
Yeah.
You know basketball, you know Mac was the truth.
He was one of the greatest players that I saw play back in those days. And then, obviously, years later, I wore number 11 throughout high school, college, until I got to the NBA, because when I got traded to the Lakers, Bob McAdoo was on the team, and I couldn't wear number 11. So that's why I went to number 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. But I wore number 11 from the time I was 10 years old all the way until I got to the NBA. And it was because of Bob McAdoo that I wore that.
Some countries and now 13,000 athletes. I'm inviting all Olympians and Paralympians to come forward so you get to meet them one at a time. We did hear Byron Scott say, I'm not a celebrity, I'm just a guy, an ordinary guy who happened to play a little basketball. We believe that Olympic athletes and Paralympic athletes are not extraordinary people. We're ordinary people who found a way to accomplish extraordinary results. And for that reason, whenever we gather as Olympians, we invite each Olympian to introduce themselves with their name, their sport, and their year. All right? Name, sport, and year. Let me have the Olympians introduce themselves.
Ann Myers Drysdale, basketball, 1976.
Teresine Brown, youngest member of the 1964 USA Olympic track and field team. High jumper. Finalist.
Hi, my name is Yan Gu Ai. Actually, Chinese come from China. I was a coach for cycling for 2012 Olympic Games.
I'm Jan Palchikov, 1976 and 1980, rowing.
I'm John Moffat, 1980, 1984, swimming.
I'm Carolyn Joyce, 2004, 2008, 2012, swimming.
I'm Adam Duvendeck, cycling, 2004, 2008.
Lori Ogren, team handball, 1992.
Alan James, track and field, 1992 and 1996.
Candice Cable, wheelchair racing, downhill skiing, cross-country skiing.
We'll get a drink, we get some time.
I know. 5 winter, 4 summer, from 1980 to 2006.
Did we miss any Olympians or Paralympians? I'm John Naber, swimmer, 1976. We're going to do a group photo, so if you want to take a picture of probably a dozen medals all combined, come on in. Let's do a little two rows. Who is vertically challenged? You come forward. You come forward. Vertically enhanced in the back. Come forward. You challenge people. Come forward. Come forward. Who's got a camera? We need, and post these on Facebook and LinkedIn and whatever.